Hare Krishna. We are doing Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse number 10. Chapter 9 is the most beautiful Bhakti Yoga. Most confidential things are spoken here in a way we can't even understand the confidential topic. And that is nicely explained in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu and books like that. Acharyas have explained. The secret of all secrets is given here, but nobody can find it out when they directly read it. It is so indirectly given. Now let's see some of the verses now. Verse number 10 of chapter 9. Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam hetunanena kaunteya jagadviparivartate. He's talking about the big brain behind the universe here. This material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. So who is working? Not Krishna. This material nature is working. The three modes of nature are making us dance to its tunes by controlling our mind. But if our soul controls the mind, by engaging in Krishna consciousness, then the mind can't do anything. Then the three modes of nature can't do anything. That is, if the soul surrenders to Krishna, then the three modes of nature can't do anything. Otherwise, three modes of nature, the material nature controls. How? Under my direction. So it's Krishna who says control, and she controls. Suppose we say, Krishna, please protect me from her control, from Maya. Then Krishna says, hey, go away. Just like, if there's a dog, in a man's house, and you are going as a guest, you are his best friend, and the big dog, looking at you, bow, 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 tries to attack you. When it tries to attack you, what you will do? You say, hey, Krishna, see your dog. Then the boss, Krishna, comes out and says, Maya, stop it. And then, then Maya, what does she do? The dog Maya, she comes around your feet and then she just rubs herself against you, understanding you are her boss's friend, right? When the dog understands that you are her boss's friend, she doesn't bark at you. Same way, this material nature is the sister, external energy of Krishna. So she is Devi Hesha Gunamai Maya Duratyaya. Krishna's Maya is very difficult, but if you surrender to Krishna, then Maya comes under his control and we are free. We can simply live our surrendered life. We can surrender ourselves to Krishna and live for pleasing Krishna. So here you see what Krishna is saying. This material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. So it's like the dog working under the boss's instruction. But when the dog knows that you are friend, then what happens? O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings, under its rule this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So he's talking about this entire, universe. Who is the big brain? Krishna is the big brain. And, Krishna, what he does, he's making the material nature, which is Krishna's energy, work under his direction, producing the moving and non-moving beings. And under its rule, this manifestation is created. So, according to his direction, this universe is created and annihilated. Created, annihilated. How fast? As fast as Vishnu takes one deep breath, creation or destruction takes place when he leaves the breath out. So we have to understand, for Vishnu it's just one breath's time, but for us it appears like a very long time. So when we perfect, when we attain perfection and when we go back to God, it's like just now I went and just now I came. But we are in the illusion, we are feeling that it's quite a long time. We are made to feel like that because we wanted to be away from Krishna for a long time. But Krishna knows to be away from me is a suffering for them. So he gives us a feeling that we are away for a very long time. But when we are tired of this and when we go back, we realize it was not actually so long. So it just creates and annihilates. The universe gets created and annihilates all under the direction of Krishna. That's what is told here. And then in the 14th verse, Krishna says, Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavritaha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. He's explaining about the devotees. He says in chapter 9 verse number 14, always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. See, Krishna is telling, always chanting my glories. So now, if we talk about Krishna, whatever Krishna has spoken, if we are talking, that means we are really valuing it, we are respecting it. And when we hear, we are hearing it because it is Krishna's words. We are respecting it. So hearing and speaking, it's all, glorifying by speaking, glorifying by hearing also, by the heart also. So always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination. So if we have to be really determined, to really swim against the current, because in the world, very few people are interested in Bhagavad Gita, are interested in God. All the others, when they are interested in Maya's attractions, if we are going in Krishna's direction, so we are actually swimming against the current. So we have to, with great determination, regularly hear about Krishna, regularly glorify Krishna. That's why he's telling, always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. See, just now he said, always chanting my glories and bowing down to me, and they worship me with devotion. And again in the 9th chapter, last verse, he says, Manmana, always think of me. Bhava mad bhakto, become my devotee. Madhyaji, worship me. Mam namaskuru, pay your namaskara to me, pay your obeisances to me. So again, if you do that, he says, you will come back to me for sure. I promise you, Krishna says that. And even in the 18th chapter, 65th verse, also he says the same thing. Manmana, bhavamad bhakto, madhyaji, mam namaskuru, mame vaishyasi satyante pratijane priyosime. That's what he says in the 65th verse. But last few words in the 9th chapter are little different. Manmana, bhavamad bhakto, madhyaji, mam namaskuru, mame vaishyasi yuktvaivam, atmanam mad parayanaha. What's the translation? Engage your mind, always thinking of me, become my devotee, offer your obeisances to me and worship me, being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. See, being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. And in the 18th chapter, 65th verse translation says, thus you will come to me without fail, I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. So first lines are the same, always think of me, become my devotee, the same words. At the end he says, thus you will come to me without fail, I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. You see, the same thing, same point is mentioned here in 9.14. This is the secret. This is the secret. The secret is, that we have to become his devotee. Devotee means one who is fully devoted. One who is devoted means, so much devoted that all the time he is remembering only Krishna. Means when he does any activity, just like a wife who has a lover other than her husband, she's always focused on the other man, the paramour. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this example that she's all the time thinking of her lover, and so she doesn't want to get caught, so she's nicely doing her duties as a wife at home, as a mother or whatever, she's doing everything nicely, but her focus is how I can go and meet my paramour. Like that, these devotees, they do all the activities very carefully, thinking that, I have to do it to please Krishna. So inside their mind, pleasing Krishna is there, but when people see, they think, oh, they are very much attached to cleanliness, very much attached to organized living or orderliness and things like that. People may get misdirected, but people cannot see their heart. But in their heart, they are secretly attached to Krishna. They are doing it for the pleasure of Krishna. So they are devotees. So he is telling, so such devotees are always chanting my glories and they're endeavoring with great determination. Okay, with determination they're trying to do more and more activities to please Krishna. Okay, such great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. So such great souls who just do this much, whoever glorifies, whoever has determination, whoever bows down, if we just do these things, slowly we will get that devotion where we will be, remembering Krishna like how a lady remembers her paramour. All the time we can remember Krishna. So then, one verse 21 in 9th chapter says, Tetam bhuktva swarga lokam vishalam kshine punye martya lokam vishanti evam trai dharmam anuprapnapanna gatagatam kama kama labante. This talks about the goal of life. You see, the translation says, when they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure and the results of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of 3 Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. So you understand? So even if we get a lot of punya karma by doing karma kanda activities of this puja, that puja, all Devata temple visiting, doing that puja, this puja, I want punya, so I won't get this, so you will get something and you will be left with so much punya that we will end up going to heaven. There we will finish, enjoying Somarasa, Ramba, Menaka, watching, observing, and then we finish our punya karma. Just like we go to Singapore, our money finishes, we come back here to join our job. Just like that, when our punya finishes, kshine punye martya lokam vishanti, we have to come back to this material world. Again we have to work, so it's better we don't go there and come back, but let us live only to please Krishna. Then we will go and live with Krishna, and there when we think of pleasing Krishna, Krishna will be available, and Krishna will please us and we please him. That's a very beautiful place. That's why in Kannada there is one sant who says, Allide namma mane, illi bande summane. Means, there is my house, I have come here simply, just like that. Means my house is Krishna's abode, I have just come here for one tour, because I thought maybe I can be more happier down. But we are seeing that padam yatri padam, at every step there is a problem. So at least now when we understand, let us start glorifying Krishna for giving us Bhagavad Gita, for sending us devotees who teach us about Krishna, and so glorifying, bowing down, slowly we will end up in becoming a devotee, and then if we go to Krishna's house, we will never return. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.